Education is elevation. And I got a story to tell y'all, man. If you would have told me a couple of years ago I would be booked to the University of Alabama, the Roll Tide,
About nothing but the time.
to be able to go talk to their students, faculty, and staff about Black history and education, critical race theory, and the current war they raging on critical race theory, I probably would tell you lying, or I wouldn't see it in my wildest dreams. However, it happened. I got booked to go to the University of Alabama, the state of Alabama, literally after they passed the bill, ripping the funding of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It also called into question a lot of other things that we do in terms of teaching and learning of the values and objectives about Black history. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of people don't know the difference between critical race theory and Black history. You know what I'm saying? I got us some clips as well from my engagement that I had with the beautiful students and faculty and staff at the University of Alabama in the race and gender department, but also how I was able to interact with a lot of the natives. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the locals, I should say. You feel me? Shout out to the real indigenous folks that's there. Hey, y'all know that Tuscaloosa, the city of Tuscaloosa, is actually named after the indigenous tribes, you feel me? Or indigenous people that got their ass marched all the way from Alabama to, you know what I'm saying, Trail of Tears to Oklahoma. It's crazy how the state of Alabama has that red, that white, that Black, the storytelling of it, you feel me? Because Alabama really illustrates how there was a clearing of indigenous people, and then there was, you feel me, some African people that was brought in to kind of build up, you know what I mean? And how a lot of white folks was able to benefit from that historically and currently in the status quo, man. But listen though, I was able to meet people when I was, it was this dude. I'm walking down they little strip in Tuscaloosa where they had their little bars at, you feel me? I'm trying to figure out where I wasn't gonna get me a little drink. And this dude, he stopped in his tracks and was like,
back in my day now, hey, I just came to a random club. Bro just see me and was like,
whenever you pop up on my FYP,
appreciate you,
it's
man.
absolutely magic. Absolutely.
We out here, baby.
It's man.
You know?
Oh, bro, I swear to God, I thought I was losing. I was like, hold on.
I'm walking, he see me and was like,
I had to like triple take that.
That was me when I went to that event earlier.
Euro step. I said,
And now you see why I brought you to the strip now.
I said, there he is.
No, because I said if we got to experience Tuscaloosa,
yeah.
you know what I mean? He was like so starstruck for me. And for me being a small town dude from Texas, I'm still getting used to having a certain type of notoriety. I'm still getting used, you feel me, to being seen in cities and places and spaces I ain't never been at. You know what I mean? So for me, it's still a little surreal, but also a lot of times when it's like a Black man coming to me, especially a cisgender straight Black man, like, hey man, shout out to you, bro. You consciously, I fuck what you do. It really hit different because a lot of times my biggest proponents on the internet be my other fellow cisgender, you know what I'm saying, straight Black men. It's like, oh man, you do too much talking about shit I disagree with, man. You dishonoring the masculinity. So in Tuscaloosa and being in Birmingham and people being like, man, you consciously, that shit hit different. You know what I'm saying? I wish I can't wait to go back to the state on my own time and really be able to, I feel like, do me like a state tour almost. I want to go to Huntsville. I want to go to Mobile. I want to go to Birmingham. I want to go to Montgomery. I want to go to Dothan. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to, it was a few cities that I actually never heard of before. But you know, University of Alabama is like the biggest university in the state. Shout out to Auburn. Y'all ain't messing with Alabama though. But shout out to y'all. Like, you feel me? So I was able to meet people from all around the state, man. You know what I mean? We go to the restaurant. I want to go to the bathroom. This group of women stopped me and was like, hey, I know who you is. Keep on doing your thing. They made me feel so good. I pulled the camera out on them and like, man, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of content curators usually aren't as extroverted. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they're able to make so much great content in the house, because they got to be around people. I'm one of those social media content curators, influencers, whatever the hell you want to call me. Like, I'm really into interacting with the people. It's not just about the lessons and the things that I say on the internet that happen on the internet. It's the way that it carries over and spills over to people in their real life. You know what I'm saying? It hit different when you walk in a random place, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in Alabama and somebody want to FaceTime their best friends or FaceTime a family member because they ain't going to believe they meeting consciously right now. Alabama and being in Alabama, I think that a lot of us get stuck in a very archaic way of viewing the state as being always talking like this right here and being stuck in the past. There's a map. You know what I'm saying? See if we can get this map right here. Here's this map that really illustrates how the demographics of Black people was concentrated down south and how a lot of the ways that we pathologize Southerners for being stupid or being dumb is really caught up in anti-Blackness. And a lot of y'all don't want us to get off the plantation in many ways as possible. A lot of y'all view us down south, the same way our legislators view us, and y'all want to kind of keep us in this very refined way that kind of, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna use this word I learned in college, ontologically freezes us in always being in some close proximity to massa in the plantation. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of beautiful black people down there in Alabama that's really doing the work. You feel me? As a matter of fact, I will argue that when it comes to how a lot of us African Americans view Alabama, we should really put more respect on that state and really view it as some type of holy land. You know what I'm saying? Don't get lost in the sauce and start thinking about, man, down there, they don't like black people. Hey, listen, man, they don't like black people all around this country. So for you to sensationalize Alabama for being uniquely against black people, sometimes it's kind of weird, because we know that both red states and black states have an appetite for locking up black people and unjustly killing black people. And Alabama just ain't no, you know what I'm saying, uniqueness to it. You feel me? In that way, in terms of the status quo. Historically speaking, I feel like we think about Birmingham, what happened in Selma, what happened in, you know what I'm saying, Montgomery, what happened in Mobile. I think that there were a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that was dedicated to the movement of black people that impacted the livelihoods and material reality of all us around the country. You feel me? I'm talking about the way in which black people worked their ass off, whether we talking about it was Martin Luther King, you feel me? Or we talking about the no-name black person that you ain't gonna never know about because the archive didn't capture them the way they should have. They really like Alabamans. I'm talking about, I know on the East Coast and up north, referring to somebody as a Bama can be seen as derogatory, but I feel like I would encourage y'all to really go down there in Alabama and really meet the beautiful people of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? There was the vernaculars, different ways that people expressed themselves and spoke that wasn't maybe to the traditional way you view Alabama sounding like or hearing. Think about how the South, a lot of us, no, don't get me wrong, a lot of those northern places, East Coast, West Coast places, a lot of y'all got Southern roots that y'all always try to distance yourself from, and it becomes evident the way y'all talk about the South, specifically people like Alabama, Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? But this video about Alabama, you know what I mean? When I first landed to Alabama and I seen that the airport in Birmingham was named after this black man, like, I'm an African American studies major. The fact that I didn't know who this black man was, that this airport was named after, it made me feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? It made me feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And when I acknowledge too, like, hey, there are a lot of black people that come here to this state to like play football and shit like that, and y'all are criminalizing the way they get access to higher education, or higher education y'all love, and obviously stimulates a lot of economy throughout the state. Like, it benefits uniquely from diversity and equity and inclusion, specifically on how it gave access to higher education to them bodies y'all love rooting for to make tackles and to be able to, you know what I'm saying, hit them touchdowns. So when I first got there, there was two things I was, you know what I'm saying, really thinking about. There was this dude I met, he was a Sigma, you know what I'm saying? This dude really was like a walk-in Black history, Divine Nine historian library where he was just spitting off all type of random facts, you know what I'm saying? I learned so much about Booker T. Washington from being around this dude for like 24 hours than I probably had ever knew about Booker T. Washington, you know what I'm saying? Of course, he went to like, you know what I'm saying, Tuskegee. But he was telling me about how Booker T. Washington was a great fundraiser and how he was able to get so many of the rich white folks at that time to, you know what I'm saying, donate a lot of money to the school. What I didn't know is that Tuskegee universities, they like founding day they celebrate for first opening up. It's July the 4th. You know what I'm saying? Because they promised, I think it was Carnegie or Rockefeller. I can't remember who it was, man, but a lot of interesting facts, man. I was able to do everything in Birmingham that I wanted to do, except for go down MLK Street. I was able to go to the 16th Street, you know what I'm saying, to see the bombing. That was like weirdly more emotional than I thought I would be. You know what I'm saying? I was fighting it a little bit, but then when I got to the Birmingham County Jail where Martin Luther King wrote that famous letter at, it really made me like, I had so much thoughts and feelings and emotions going through my mind, and I was a little frightened because I'm at the damn county jail. I had to get her to move around. Like, it really was like, I think we should put more respect on Alabama name. You know what I'm saying? Alabama and Alabamans have done a lot for us as Americans, especially as Black folks, that we really should reorient ourselves for how we think about not only Southerners, but specifically Alabama. I don't know, man. It's really just, for me, different to like go to a state or a place that I've never been to in my life, and they recognize me from the work that I do on social media. You know, when I say education is elevation or research over me search, when I meet people in real life and they tell me how much my work has helped them learn different things, or how they're able to use my work to, you know, explain things or try to get to things they've been wanting to say for forever, but I said it in a way they can use it. It feels great. It feels amazing, and it really made me recalibrate on why I do this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's content content creators, it's easy for us to get caught up in the likes and the shares and the views and the follows, and we forget sight of the purpose. What we really doing it about this about. We lose sight of the purpose that we're actually doing it for, and we get caught up in like the popularity trend chasing. You know what I'm saying? For me, when I'm able to go and get booked at the University of Alabama or these different other universities, it really is a reality check for me a lot of times. And it's also something that I feel like, you know, is able to be a gut check. You know what I'm saying? A gut check on really not only viewing your content or how the haters view it, but also recognizing there are people that actually admire and learn a lot from what you do. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of times it's easy for us to zoom in on negativity and really forget about the positivity. You might have 1,000 comments. Shit, 800 of the comments is very uplifting, affirming, and validating, but 200 of the comments is very negative and very slanderous. For some reason, a lot of us content creators will focus too much on that 200 comments and forget about the 800. And for me, when I go travel, especially this trip for University of Alabama, it really was what I need. You know what I'm saying? To see that many black people, all those black people that had different relationships to my content. I seen this black trans woman that was like the first trans person to ever win Miss Druid. I think it's their like pride, their like pride competition they do in Tuscaloosa. You know what I'm saying? Meeting her, that was dope. I don't think she was that familiar with me, you know what I'm saying? But just meeting all these different black people, that was dope. But also seeing some black people that was a part of the LGBT community, seeing some hood black people, seeing some quote unquote college educated black people, acknowledging there's a Venn diagram. All these people can be the same, but kind of talking about different textures of blackness is what I got when I was in Alabama, especially when I was going between Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. And it really made me appreciate not only the multiplicity of blackness and black people, made me remember that, goddamn, that the way that people view and take my content in is very plentiful. You know what I'm saying? There are multiple ways people interpret my content, and then my content impacts people. And I should always keep that in mind. Meeting these people that don't know me from a can of paint, or they know me from a can of paint because they seen my content, it felt amazing.